Back to Team Fortress TV. My name is Bren, and I'm joined today by CommanderX and TurboTabs. How are we feeling?
I'm excited.
Yeah?
Yeah, great.
I mean, really, I'm actually very tired, but I'm excited now. The tournament's actually kicking off. We're getting underway. We've already seen one game. Really squeaked out win for Nameless, but
definitely.
we're about to see the other two teams in this event now, and I'm quite interested, really interested to see how they do, how they perform, and what's going to happen next.
TurboTabs, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's just everything about Dreamhack Summers just seems like upgrading away from winter. It's just like the production area is bigger, the caster list has gotten bigger, the players have turned up bigger, in my opinion.
They put on a lot of weight.
Yeah. Well, you have to if you dedicate that much time to TF2. But yeah, it truly has just been a spectacle to behold. Probably the best that TF2 we might see. And I am genuinely excited to see every single team at this LAN.
Yeah, it's really top 4 teams, invitational, pretty much the best 4 teams in Europe, maybe give or take Lego. And it's going to be close, and especially on LAN, because even though publicly have been on a bit of a decline, since they were basically formed at Dreamhack Winter and put some strong performances there, this is where it all started for them.
Yeah.
This could be, if there's any time to pull it back and compete with all these people.
Yeah, this will be the pivotal moment here, because they're all compromised of these LAN players, and they turn up. They're in their home scenario here, and also the fact with LAN, you can prepare a lot more because it has a lot more strategy behind it. You can start pulling out pocket strats and maybe even having some, just dedicating timeouts. Right, if we could just eliminate certain maps, certain areas, that we can dedicate more time and maybe more scrutiny towards certain maps. Yeah,
it's all fair points. We're talking a little bit about these teams, building on top of what we've already discussed just a minute ago, because I believe we are going to be getting into the picks and bans fairly shortly, as soon as possible. So we'll hurry things along a little bit. Into this tournament, I'll talk a little bit about Perilous Gaming. Looking like pretty much the favourites. I think most people are agreeing. There's a few straw polls that are being ran every now and then, and generally they are on top. I think most people are expecting them to really take this. I don't really want to talk about how Perilous can win this. I want to talk about Crowns in particular. What do you think they need to achieve in their games? What do you think they need to work on that they can potentially, as you mentioned, get this redemption story undergo?
I think it's just all about coordination with Crowns right now. They've got all these great talent. If you look at this roster on paper, you're like, oh my god, it sounds like something that could even potentially take it all. But it's just lacking that a bit of synergy. But the fact that you're playing on LAN, it makes it much easier to do that, because for one example, you could even just start looking over at the other players, as we actually are going straight into the map picks right now.
Absolutely, yeah. It's going to be Crowns Esports with the first ban on Badlands, getting that one out of the way straight away.
Yeah, I think that's a sensible choice. Badlands, a map where scouts can really dominate. And Talash and Ast, wow, this is their first LAN, their first map at LAN. Unproven. They do have a distinct advantage on paper over Atomic and Bevan.
There we are. Second ban as well coming out. Perilous actually going to be banning Process as well.
Yeah, that's a very good ban. They're very strong over on off any map. Crowns are going to be quite strong on Process. I think Smear and Onkai feels a lot more comfortable on that map. So that's a very smart ban coming out from Perilous.
What picks would you like to see coming out of Crowns if they could potentially turn this?
I'd like to see a Snakewater. I think Smear does a lot of work on that map, and he's really in its comfort zone. I think that's what it's going to come down to, just getting the comfort zones right and whatnot. And I think for AMS, he's going to be fine with just going into any map, really. And as long as the fact that he's just playing on LAN, he's just going to... I think it's all going to come... all these picks are going to be based around Smear and Onkai's choices, really.
Well, we've got a bit of time waiting for the picks to come through. There we go. There's another one. Crowns Esports on Gully Wash.
Gully Wash, okay. Well, that's extremely interesting, because I would thought that would be a map that Perilous would pick. It's very strong for Perilous, in my opinion. What do you think, CX?
I think they're starting to run out of choices. Perilous pick Reckoner. A bit of a wild card here.
Wow,
quite
okay.
a new map.
Now, it's no secret that Perilous have a few old players just kind of adapting to this roster with the addition of Tech, and you've got Mike in there as well. With these old gems, the last map you expect them to pick is a new map. It requires a lot of coordination. You have to go over the map talks and stuff like that. Maybe it just goes to show how much of the homework Perilous has been doing.
Especially Reckoner. Reckoner being a map that
Good. Sorry to interrupt you, but
fine,
it was a
yeah.
very good ban coming out from Crowns here. They're
banning
they're not good at product.
Absolutely,
I mean-
especially with Aston Falash on Scout.
Oof.
Yeah, going to be messy. But the second ban
Wow.
also going to be coming out now.
These
for
ban-
Perilous now. Snakewater being banned, and the last remaining map will be Granary, if we will see it go to a third map. But there we are, those are the picks. Any thoughts on any individual players coming into this?
Looking at these maps, it looks like it's very strong for Perilous. It's going to be a really tough climb for Crowns. But if there's any team that I've seen that can like take the winds of land and just like sail through and just like, and plus they're an emotional team as well. If they get that first taste of victory, they like get really pumped up and hyped up, and it shows in their like further play.
I think it's really important for Crowns to start strong here, because especially with Granary being the third map, with Mike and Tech on 5 ping.
That's pretty much, you want to win this out in the first 2
you
maps.
have to really, because
Yeah.
it's going to be so tough.
That's the judgment day.
So
That's
tough,
like
yeah. Reckoner is a complete wild card. I think Perilous have been quite generous with that pick for Crowns. Gollywash, kind of an even map. Crowns will have to play really well. AMS in particular, Zubas are going to have to be a lot better than they are online, and obviously again, 5 ping soldier advantage is going to help him.
yeah.
But a lot's going to be right on AMS and Zubas, especially with the soldier talent on
Yeah,
Perilous.
but the fact that it seems like such an unusual pick and bans coming out from the teams, it just kind of makes you think that Crowns are a bit unpredictable. So maybe they've got like something cooked up for them. I mean, if they're unpredictable to us, how do you think Perilous are feeling that right now?
Yeah. Especially because, I'm just going to jump in here quickly, Perilous were widely considered that Gollywash was going to be one of their best maps. That was a while ago now. The roster's changed up a little bit. As we mentioned, Tech is on Soldier now, replacing Salentes, just because Salentes couldn't actually attend the LAN. And we've actually got Mike as well, who is replacing, full-time Sideshow, isn't it? Sideshow used to be playing for Perilous Gaming, now he's not. They've had a lot of time to practice with these players as well. Tech, not so much. I believe they played their last official, which is worth pointing out. They also played their last official against Crowns. That was ETF2L Week 5. And, Perilous took it in quite a storm, basically. I think it was 5-0 on Reckoner.
Yeah, but just to give it a little pinch of salt, like Crowns had maybe an unfavourable start to the season, so the motivation might not be so much in there. But when it comes to Dreamhack, you've got money on the line, you've got so many other conditions are in your way. So I think it makes sense for them to kind of focus all their efforts on this match rather than that ETF12 match they played a few while.
Exactly right. The official, there's so many things you can learn from that if you're in Crown's position right now.
Exactly.
Literally, you learn from your mistakes. If they have been putting in the work, and from what I hear, they actually have. They've been reviewing demos constantly. Bevan, who's actually going to be playing for Crowns, and he's replacing Piers, he has been watching tons of POVs from Piers' perspective, constantly basically analysing how he needs to play for his team. I'm actually really confident for Crowns here, genuinely. Most people probably don't expect them to put out a great performance, but honestly, the conditions are completely right for them to potentially make an upset happen. So
I want to go back to that talk about Bevan. What a player to pad out your roster. He's just literally probably the most LAN seasoned person I know, CX. He's just I can't think of he even went to the I series some spring and winter ones, the ones that usually you only see the UK players play at. He just loves LANs, that kid.
Yeah, it's a definite advantage to have someone with that experience on the flanks, as opposed to if Perilous came, again, new experience for him, same as Tiger and...
Yeah. And he did play at the last DreamHack winter as well, and he did quite well. He came second with that team, and but the difference maker is though that was a team put together literally the last minute. I think they had 2 days where they formed the team, and then they were just turned up to LAN and played some games. But now they've planned this much earlier. Bevan's had time to practice. He's had time to coordinate with his team, maybe even go through some map talks and all this strategy. It's I think Bevan's going to be the man to watch this match.
It's probably important to note that Bevan probably has very limited experience from Reckoner as well, the same as Tech.
Ooh, yeah.
So it's going to be tough for them. Probably
that
easier.
Might be.
I have seen, looking back through Bevan's logs beforehand, he has been playing a lot of pugs actually to try and catch up, because I believe that he actually works a night shift and things. He hasn't had time to compete, but this guy has got absolutely tons of experience. He's played multiple seasons of Prem, got tons of LANs under his belt, not only that, and he's a great fit chemistry-wise. So, I wouldn't be too put off by the fact that you've Reckoner being a new map. I'm sure he's gone over it with his team. I'm sure he's played it as well. So Yeah.
I mean, it's new for everyone as well. Even though they have less experience than the others, it's kind of new for everyone. It's quite often a very messy fight. And I think, if anything, that will help Crowns. Keep it messy fight. They like to take these just aggressive fights, get in their face, make it messy, and just cause chaos and try and play off that.
Yeah.
It's going to be really important for us, especially first LAN, to help hold that combo together along with Tech and just keep costs safe, keep them steady, and keep everything together. It'll be really interesting to see the combo play from Perilous and if they can hold it together throughout this series.
Absolutely, yeah. That's also worth pointing out. Perilous, team-wise, LAN experience a bit lacking in that department.
Yes, you are correct. This is Falash's first LAN, this is Ast's first LAN, this is Ale's first LAN. The only people with experience on that team is Mike, which is, to be fair, he's got quite a few things under his belt now, even like the top tier like championship matches. So he's not going to feel any sort of pressure from this sort of match. You've also got Tech, who's been to loads of French LANs. He's going to be fine as well. And Koss has been trolling about the I-Series for years now. So it's good. I think it's a good mixture. But the things that you kind of catch yourself out at LAN when you come to this, you don't think about the preparations you have to make. I mean, a couple of scenarios is like, setting up your chair right, having this posture. You just need to feel comfortable, basically. Because if you're not comfortable, you're not focused. If you're not focused, you're getting distracted. And you're just kind of not syncing up with your team and like following the plays correctly. And sometimes it could be absolutely disastrous. There's some things where you can't afford to be playing. Like if they get the sensitivities wrong or like that, they might as well not have turned up. But I'm sure like the LAN veterans of the other half of the team have been walking them through all this.
Quick update for you guys who are watching online. The servers, basically getting filled up with all these players as we speak. Perilous just waiting on 2 more players. Crowns are all in, ready, waiting. They've been DMing, they've been warming up. So the game will be starting fairly shortly. Do not go anywhere. But any other points do you guys wanted to make?
It's going to be nice to see Tech and Mike again on the duo from Epsilon. What was it? I-52? Is that right? Yeah, that was a nice treat to behold from a while back. Maybe not so much the final, but
That
still,
never happened.
I mean, it's in theory. Like, could you think of a better like soldier duo right now?
Not really. What I find interesting is they were talking about this quite a lot yesterday. Is how Tech and Mike wanted to sit next to each other, so we can see what each other is doing.
Yeah.
Tech as a pocket can see what his flank is doing, and vice versa. And as you can see from the camera, just before it swaps off, Mike is at the end, not next to Tech. It seems weird. There was a lot of back and forth. Talash wanted the extra mouse space in the corner, like because he's on a really low sense, and probably cheating.
Yeah.
But it's interesting seeing that they wanted that quite a lot. They've had experience together before, and they want to be sitting next to each other and see each other so they can work off each other a lot more naturally without adding to the comms. Like Ali can be quite vocal in his team without adding to that. But
comms is quite interesting. I'm not sure. This might have changed now, but a while back, Tech really struggled with English, and this is primarily an English-speaking roster. They're all from all corners of the globe, but they do speak English, and sometimes you can get that miscommunication. I know with Tech it's happened before in some English-speaking teams, but with LAN, I guess the part of the perk is you could just look over, it's like, oh, he's there, and then you just help them out that way. Kind of declutters the comms, all that.
There we are. So the 2 remaining members of Perilous are now just about to sit down at their computers, get it sorted. So yeah, the game should be starting any moment now. We talked a bit about both these teams. Map-wise, I guess we could talk a little bit about Gullywash being Crowns' pick. We briefly touched on it, how you thought it was quite unusual, TurboTabs.
Well, I think it's just putting money into the AMS basket, really. It's.
Right.
I think it's a very strong map of his. If he can almost take over the game. If they can win out those mid-fights, they can easily snow this ball this back to second. They can keep them pinned at last. And what's great about that is that you can take your time, maybe be a bit methodical about your pushes. So I can see why they picked it, but it's just, I know that this is a very favoured Perilous map.
I think the problem really when playing against Perilous as well is they're quite strong on all maps. There's no obvious weak links. Whereas we've seen Nameless, for example, struggle on Viaducts, hazy performances on Reckoner, and there's not these same obvious weak links. They're quite a well-rounded team. And it just makes it hard to play against, because you can't, obviously Crowns going into this would have liked to pick Sunshine, but it's not an option. So they've kind of been stripped of their favourite map and are now having to work with what's left, and that's why they find themselves on Gullywash right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Any moment now, the teams will be rolling in. and we can get the game underway, hopefully fairly soon for you guys. Just to see, just peeking around the corner on the camera there. Beyond Gullywash, the second map pick was Reckoner. The Crowns themselves did not have a strong performance. Again, we briefly touched on that in their last official in the ETF2L League. How do you see them coming out from this then?
What, from the Reckoner map?
Yeah.
Dreadfully.
Okay. That's a bit blunt. I wasn't really expecting that. But
Okay. No, I'm sure they've gone through the map, especially after that first official. Also, part of the disadvantage of some of those ETF2L matches is because they've constantly been using mercs throughout the season, so they haven't really had a chance to like just sit down and all get coordinated on map. You know, kind of decide out whose role on the flank and what they're trying to perform, what they want to achieve at certain points of the game. So they just usually wing it. It's online. It's not as quite like LAN where you can just use that winging potential, and that's, you know, there's so much of superpowers to the full degree. But I think it'll be better than the ETF2L, but I still think it's going to be quite comfortably Perilous on the second map.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to agree, really. Even though I think it will be closer on LAN, but it's going to take a monumental effort from Crowns to take the series. Like, maybe they can take a map.
I think I would
take the whole series.
I would still take Reckoner any day than playing Granary. I don't know, maybe. I don't think Perilous are like quite sharp on it, but I'm just scared of like putting Tech and Mike on Granary after just the amount of years that I bet they've all played Granary longer than some of these players have played the game. CX.
Yeah, if it goes to Granary, it's over for Crowns.
Yeah.
They need to take, if they want to have any hope of taking this, they need to take it in the first two maps. Beyond that, I think it's going to be nigh impossible for them.
Yeah. Okay. So very one-sided opinions in some ways. I don't like to really say, well, one team's going to win over the other just because basing it basically purely on stats and previous performances. Instead, if there was ever a way Crowns could take this, because you do seem quite anti against them, what conditions really need to be met?
I'm not against Crowns whatsoever. I always vote for the underdog, but I just don't want to, you know, get the impression that, you know, I don't want to lie to the audience. You know,
okay.
I want them to be informed as much as possible, you know. And even if they do it, it just shows to how the degree how well they're playing on LAN or how much of a hurdle they've got past. I don't want to water it down.
Yeah, here we are. This is the first mid-fight that's about to kick off straight away. You're going to see Smear taking the fourth position onto that big bomb forward by Ams. He's already picking up so much damage, and he's actually going to be falling in the process as well. One fat rocket. What was that from Mike? Destroying Unkaya in the process. And it's actually an incredibly scrappy mid-fight for both these teams. Falash is one man against the world. Can he do it? Ams is trying to force him off. He's trying to take this 1v1 on the Spire area. Can he do anything about it? Falash is biding his time. He's going to pick up that small health back, and he's still trying to take the fight to him, but no. Ams is the one to come out on top in the end, but that was an incredibly scrappy mid-fight from them. They both medics losing their lives, and there's a bit of a reset happening here.
Yeah, that's the basket of putting all your soldiers and thinking like soldiers, you just need to turn up on this mid, and turn up they did. They end up doing a massive amount of damage on that next mid. Now they are going to have a slight little resistance going into the second, but it looks like nothing's going to come of it so far. They're just going to reset things, and things are just going to slow down for a little. Absolutely,
yeah. Both medics did fall in the process, so that means no overcharge on either side. And that's really, really crucial in pushing into basically second when it comes to Gullywash and even most maps in general. Just basically feeling it out. Both teams just waiting for that pick that they could potentially get. We do see Balash and Sniper taking a lot of damage in that big door area, and he is going to have to back off, pick up that health back, and potentially re-engage. But really, at this point in the game, you're just feeling each other out. You don't want to take things too quickly. You just want to basically, if you can pick up a frag, that's brilliant. You've got to anticipate some off classes. Indeed, you do see, as we mentioned, Balash and Sniper.
They need to make something happen, though. I don't like it when teams just kind of wait for them to make a monumental mistake when they've got the Sniper, because it just allows so much breathing room, and it's just a game of odds at that point. Eventually, at some point, he's going to find that headshot, and then they're going to move along into the rest of their pushing. But it seems Falash is not finding many shots right now. It's very strict coming out from Crowns in the positioning, but you know, there's still a time for it, and he's going to find it at some point. They need to think of a counter play or something.
This is perfectly fine for Crowns, I feel, like, to take it just slowly. You don't want to give away any early momentum. Falash and Sniper is not really hitting his shots. He is trying to peek it. Tiger takes a bit of damage, and he's actually going in for more. He's already on half health, so he is just going to have to back off, get an arrow. get back up to full HP, and indeed he is. And now the hit comes to re-engage. The entire team of Perilous actually looks like they're rotating through this big door area, taking so much spam. Falash and Tech end up falling to single digits of HP there. They're going to have to be backing off, and still we are in this common scenario that we do see. Just
Tiger might go down here. Oh, it was brought down very close. Actually, Bren was the one that went down there. I don't know how he
They're going to want to play off this straight away. Look at Perilous already trying to get the positioning in as they're moving straight in, but they dropped, oh my goodness, they dropped cost there in the process. There's no Uber for them. And absolutely solid plays by that man as well, basically pressuring him off. Falash is all on him to try and pick off Unkire if they can. But it's not going to be happening, and now Crowns, they're in such a good position here. They've got 100% Uber advantage, they're pushing through this big door area. And Perilous, they've got no choice now but to back all the way off.
That was so well played by Crowns. That was so intentional. They literally did nothing. They forced Perilous to get over eager, forced Perilous to make a play when really they shouldn't be the team to make a play. So well played, caused frustration and capitalized so well off the mistake. And now they have a great chance to push last.
Look at Mikey, He tries to make something happen, not going to be happening whatsoever. Going to get taken out straight away. Centrigan doing his darndest to try and deny them off as the Uber's just about to fade Smear. Does bring it down in the end, but is it going to be enough? 2 picks already. The Heavy is also going to fall. They're just trying to play this point now. They're just really hemorrhaging players, trying to run onto it. Tiger coming in from behind. Can they do it? It's Unkire and Tiger. I think they've got this. And indeed they do. Crowns take the first round, opposing all opposition.
Guys, it's happening. The one thing you needed to get that snowball rolling was that first round coming, and it went their way. They're an emotional team. You can always, I can feel the hype from over here. I can hear them shouting. They're going to use this to hopefully propel themselves across the entire map.
That last mid was really messy though. It was a real coin toss who came out on top, so it's going to be a lot more structured from Crowns to win these mids consistently.
Well, here we are, mid-fight number 2. A lot of spam being coming out on the Crowns guys right now. Actually being forced into that valley area. Ams also taking a lot of damage. In fact, he's the first casualty to go down in the end. And Crowns, they're just backing all the way out. They don't want to take any risks now. All the way back out for a second. Tiger buys it a bit of time for his team there, suiciding into them. Trying to basically make a play happen, but yeah, this is smart by Crowns, just backing all the way out. Immediately losing AMs like that, they knew it was pretty much a lost cause to go in.
I was kind of hoping they would identify that they were out of position there and just backed out with all 5 players instead, but instead they decided to just try the ransacked on with Tiger onto Cost, but it would be optimistic really to jump into all that defense from Perilous, as they just picked up the easiest second point of their life, and now they're looking to make this push on last.
Here we are, Perilous looking to take some territory potentially, moving up in that riverside area, getting a bit of spam, getting a bit of information. But Crowns are the ones with these off classes. They've got a level 2 sentry built around the corner. They have 100% Uber. Mikey looks like he wants to go for a sack. He's actually beat this ship twice, and he's been absolutely munched in the process, losing Falash as well. Crowns may look to play off this, and indeed they are pushing into this lobby area. Can they get any more? Actually, Ali has fallen very weak. It is a beautiful rocket by Am to bring him down in the end. And Perilous, dropping players like flies. And I think Cost is going to get caught out as well. Uber gets popped off. Onkire's also going to be popping his off at the same time now, as they're looking to try and take these exchanges. There are actually 2 players down on Crowns. As it happens, they need to try and get this cap if they can. Atomic's doing his darndest, Ast falling on no help, but it's a complete 180 in momentum for them. Perilous just doing so much work. Kited him to perfection there. Unkire's still alive, but maybe not for long. Ams is going to meet him. But Perilous, look at them, just moving all the way in.
Yeah, it's a real shame. I was kind of hoping Tiger would join the fight there, but instead they just really wanted to make sure that there was no back cap, so they left him back on that last point. And so because of that, they just didn't have the numbers and they couldn't take that fight. It was very well played actually by Cost to kind of shout to his team, like, look, we could win this, we've got the numbers right now, they've left some players at last, let's stay in. It did look quite grim at first, but the strong call coming out from Cost led them to holding on to that second point.
I feel like it was maybe a strong call, but it seemed just a bit of miscommunication at first. Like, they did well to salvage it, but they seemed like a miscommunication between Tech and Cost. Like, they get away with it anyway, but since Onkire survived, they're still going to be in a pretty stable position on last. 10%, Onkire will have it in time, and last time Crowns were able to hold this with ease.
Absolutely. We do see Perilous just peeking it slowly and surely, trying to see if they can get any pick up whatsoever to potentially push in. But right now, Crowns just really holding steady. Here comes Mikey. He's going to try and get a sack onto Onkire. Hits off 1 rocket. Not going to be able to connect the second one, unfortunately, for Perilous. Not going to be able to crack open this solid defense right now. And Crowns are just happy to hold back now. Get the heals, get the buffs. They're just going to hold it out.
I imagine Mike's just going to hold the door open for Falash to come back as sniper, and yep, that's what they're doing right now. So when in doubt for Perilous, you just turn to the Falash sniper. He's really one of those, probably the best sniper right now, and he does take over the game once he gets like a hot streak going. And this is LAN. Like at this point, it might as well be a point-and-click adventure game.
I think this is very predictable though. It'd be the exact same thing with Mike, and once again, we see every single Crowns player surround on Kai, a great protection. And swapping out Kalash to Sniper, I think Crowns are going to see this coming a mile away and are going to be more than ready to keep these doors highly pressured.
Yeah, he's trying to make something happen. Falash is peeking around the corner. Look at the damage coming out onto Crowns. 4 players on their team dropping to double digits of HP. That was a bit scary for a few seconds then. Tech looks like he wants to try and make some magic happen. He's peeking it with the heals. He can afford to do so, but all in all, just waiting for the correct opportunity to play off.
I just want to point out as well, every time Falash is spotted, he rotates round to really keep the unpredictability about his intentions as a sniper. And this is just a good mark of a good sniper. The fact that you don't have to be just good at aiming, you have to be unpredictable as well. And just, it really forces them into weird positions.
Mike is actually under. He's managed to wriggle his way, and I think Atomic completely knows that. Yeah, he's immediately spotted him. They're going to be sending a few men down there. It's a bit of a distraction play, and Mike, he may get out, and indeed he has. He's just rocket jumped straight through the riverside. And we are just waiting again.
It's going to take a lot of focus from Crowns. They haven't done it so hard, and that's the pick. That's what they wanted. The Uber's going to come in now. Tech's going to get a pop out straight away, and Kai wants to keep as much health in these players as humanly possible. Tech looks like he's still fighting it in. And they're actually just going to back out. They don't seem to want to be taking the re-engagement too quickly. Here comes Mike now. Tech's opened it up on the point. They're all going to flood in now, but the frags are going the way of Crowns, being forced out of position. Astin doing massive damage, taking on both scouts. It's 3v3, but the health is so much better on Perilous. Surely they can go in and cap it here, Bren.
You'd think so. Bevan on 13 health. That man is trying to do his diners, but Perilous, they don't even want to contest it. They do not want to even contest it. It was just Ali, Mikey, I believe, just respawned. Koss also get out of that fight alive. So I think that's smart by them. They're just going to build up this Uber advantage that they've accrued and just play off it. Falash still on Sniper, slowly peeking round a corner. He might be able to get something. Hits one shot off onto Bevan.
They shouldn't fall for the sniper. They should know that he has been killed, so he's still going to be alive on that sniper. So they have to keep watch of the sniper sidelines. But I guess you just see the disadvantage of pushing with a sniper because he's not really got the presence of a scout or the ability to just come into the fight as well and guarantee some sort of result. Kind of almost flipping the coin of whether or not he's going to contribute to a massive, messy team.
Well, here we are. We're going to be popped in by Perilous now. They're trying to make some plays happen. They need to bring this sentry down quickly, and that's the first thing they do. 3 frags already coming out for the Perilous boys, and they are absolutely crushing them as they push straight into last. Atomic and Smear, the only 2 survivors. It's really all on Smear. 1 man against the world. Can he do it? His sticky trap's done a bit of work, but it's not, unfortunately, going to clean up the rest of Perilous as they manage to take a round on the board. 1-1 is the scoreline. Quite a well-executed push.
Yeah, that's just a textbook TF2. Koss stayed alive and on Kaiden. They used the power and vulnerability to literally just fall over the defenses of Crowns and Gate. And there was a very comfortable last push coming out from them. It just goes to show how good they are on this Gullywop map.
And this time we do see, look at the Crowns, they're just going to be rolling out of that big little area, exchanging a bit of spam, seeing if they can do anything in the process. Ams has jumped very far forward, quite aggressive by that man, tied with the follow-up. This might look good for them, but they've already dropped 2 players on Kaya falling in the process. 3 down now for Perilous as Tiger and Ams picking up the counter frags. Koss is in such a dangerous position, he's not going to be able to get out of that alive, and look at that, Crowns. Crowns. Going to be taking mid-fight number 2. Unfortunately losing on Kaya in the process, but I think they're going to be taking that any day of the week.
Yeah, it's a real shame from the suicidal positioning of Koss there. The fact that he did get that kill, that's all stylish and well and good, but he just stayed alive a bit too long. And you can see he's delayed his respawn time and he's a bit further behind on this advantage. I mean, it is just 20%, but these are really the top tier TF2 players. They can probably make use of this 20% advantage.
Yeah, weird to see Okai not go crits an option. He plays it quite a bit, but just not this time. They're going to try and walk through choke. They get absolutely crushed as they come in. They're going deep, trying to get on Koss. Soldier super deep. Koss will survive. 90 HP. Good movement there. And Crowns overcommitted that quite hard after they took on that damage and choke.
I don't know why they expected that choke to be just a 3v. They just all went in and just got minced by the meat grinder. And now they're just finding these last few players that are hiding, trying to maybe find a kind of like a comeback play to take out Koss, but they're not going to give it to him whatsoever. They're going to get this midpoint. They're probably going to snowball it into second as well. they show no intention of holding on to it. They're running their own snipers. They just want to hold this defense at an arm's length, and hopefully Bevan can just bring home some of these headshots.
Yeah, I imagine they presumed they were gonna hold back because of the heal, because Kosh was there to heal them.
That's the defense over. It's time to go back out, and Demo Man is incredibly important on these defenses. He literally denies an entire option to you, and with Smear going down to that headshot, it was just not possible to hold on to this second. It's going to maybe even make it difficult for this last sword as he needs time to prepare.
Perilous, they have the Uber advantage, and they're going to be playing off it straight away, going straight for the jugular, trying to bring down Ankaya. Beautiful stickies by Ali. He's going to finish up that man, but it's not really looking too good. Crown's absolutely collapsing onto them. They've already picked up 3 frags. It's a 3v3 scenario. Can they do anything about it? I'm not too sure. Tek is doing his darndest, trying to hit these shots. Crowns, they're falling as a 2v2. Can they do anything? Smear! My goodness, what plays, but ultimately not going to be enough. Mikey.
Scouts respawning. You might be able to get onto the point in time. Oh no, 2 swift rockets. Soldiers are harder class, and yeah, that's the round taken. But yeah, this goes back to this 20% advantage thing. Well, actually, then again, Koss was the one that died. No, never. It doesn't go back to that at all. Never mind.
Yeah, that was just huge work from Tek on last at the end of that fight. Like, he hit so many clutch rockets, allowing Mike and Nats to get the cleanup despite Smur's best efforts. Really messy fight, but they come out on top there. We're going to another mid. All the mids have been pretty chaotic so far, so we're interested to see which way this one goes. Absolutely,
rolling out straight away. It's actually Smear who's putting out the majority of the damage, but it's actually Mikey who's going to be finishing up the first player. Bevan going down in the process, trading as well as Falash is going to be falling. This is quite a sticky mid-fight that's going to be fought right now. Mikey is going to trade in the end. Atomic on 1 health, trying to back out. Is he going to be able to do it? Ast is the one to finish him up in the end, I believe there. They're still kicking off. Ams has actually managed to pick up a frag onto Ast. He was completely caught out of position there. And a bit of a reset on this mid-fight now. Ams is hiding around this corner. Have they even spotted him? He's going to try and make a play. It's not going to happen. Gets completely collapsed on.
Yeah, once again, Koss survives, and that's going to allow Perilous to keep this momentum going forwards. And it shouldn't really be a challenge on CP2. It would be, I think, pretty foolish for Crowns to try and take it, but they're going out for it, actually. Trying to exploit the fact that there's scout capping on mid. And they're going to hold it out for chokes. Smur's going to pick up Tek, and again, seems indecision about whether he wants to commit to the fight. The trade comes in now, and it's much better for Tiger right now. He's juggling this soldier in. He's going to try and chase it in deep. He needs backup from his team now.
Like, he just went into 5 players. You just don't know at that point who you can vote for fire upon. Because even if you do get that 1 kill, then,
it's working out all right. Look at Atomic on the back line. Absolutely destroying men left, right, and centre. Picks up, I think, 4 kills in that engagement. The big wraparound by that man there, just absolutely destroying them.
And it did look kind of bad for a second there. It looked like they were fighting him very well, but maybe they could have just drawn that line just a little bit further back, allowed the flank to have less of an influence during that push. But very well done on Atomic, hitting all his shots really, and capitalising on that death.
Ams. He's hitting his shots. He's really hitting his shots. Lan is definitely doing him some favours now. And look at this. Crown's going to be pushing in straight away, recapping up this second. Only a slight Uber advantage of about 10% on their side, so they're going to see if they can make any magic happen. It's actually pretty much equal now as Perilous have managed to build it up in time. And, well, just waiting. Actually going to opt to pop straight in. We see Crowns trying to exchange Uber. Much better Uber coming out by Perilous now. And now Crowns, they need to back all the way out, but otherwise they're going to risk dropping too many players. Unkaya's in a very sticky situation. Lovely surf, lovely movement. Wow. What was that? Like a ballerina just dancing between them. And he's managed to get out of his life. Somehow Ali just was on a... He just beats him down, does he? Beats down Smear. Demoman versus Demoman. And it was looking pretty rough for Crowns, but he managed to stabilize quite well.
Yeah, they made a dot push. Like the second they got that Uber, they were pushing in, and they were expecting to have the Koss to not have that Uber yet. But he was built, like you said earlier, he was building efficiently, and he managed to get that Uber in time and kind of surprise them with that. It was some nice follow-up, but it was even better some fancy footwork from Kai that just kind of undid that mistake that they made.
Well, this is it, moving around the corner. We do see Crowns trying to create some pressure, if possible, through that big door and through that choke area, in fact. But look at this wraparound by Falash. He's absolutely destroyed Smear. He's even going for more. Tiger falling to about 40 health on that man. He's up to back all the way off. And Perilous, they're going to be able to hold on to this second with that Demoman pick. Going to be moving straight onto the mid-fight, trying to take it any way they possibly can. The forward aggression coming out by Crowns now as they're trying to basically pressure them off. If they can, Bevan picks up the headshot onto Tek pretty early on. Uber going to be popped by both these teams now on Kaya, trying to latch onto somebody. Finally, it picks Ams of all people, and now they're going to be starting to frag, or are they? They dropped a lot of players on both these teams, and Perilous coming out worse for wear, I think, in the end. Dropping 2 players.
That was a very good pop by Kaiser. It looked like he just really wanted to hold on to his pockets, and the fact that if he elongates each fight, he's slowly going to win it out just from the respawn advantage alone. So very clever pop coming out from Kaiser there. They're trying to make the play on the cost. But good God, look at the meat grinder, just working away out all the players once they've left that initial shoulder in. It's just been
Tiger. In the midst of all that, just jumps behind everyone and manages to pick up Koss. Ams is going to do his darndest to try and cap up him, but it's really just futile in the end. And he's fought a few precious seconds for his team. Perilous going to be capping up the midpoint now, and they're actually going to be running crit streak.
Yes, very. Onkai really does love to use this crits, and whether or not both of the medics go down at the same time, you know for certain that he's going to use that crit screen. But maybe Perilous expect this, so if they just they might have checked with a spy at spawn, or they could just start positioning themselves already, just almost thinking that he's definitely going to go crits after that exchange.
They don't know. The way they position themselves, Perilous don't know right now. They're holding tight. As long as Kai keeps his beam hidden from that choke, they should be okay. I'm not sure if they should go for this choke. It's heavily sticky. And actually, Koss moving back now. They must know.
They must know.
They figured it out. But they're walking through the stickies. They will find out. The crits comes in now. Not finding anyone, though. Positioning from Perilous is near perfect. One final sticky going to catch no one. They're going to maybe give up CP2 here, but they're going to have a full Uber to push back out with.
Yeah.
And they're going to contest it straight away here.
They're moving straight in. Look at this collapse now. Mikey as well is behind them, and he's going to be basically running straight into them. Just rocket after rocket. Mikey. Absolutely destroying them, or Moth I should call him, but my God, Perilous just the absolute crush. They just crushed him straight away through that choke area and straight through the shutter.
I just want to give a shout out to, it probably was Koss, but some of the Perilous players, how well they timed out, and when they knew that crits was going to be ready and built, so they held close during the entire time it was being built. Oh, actually, was that a back cap?
Yeah, AMS is still behind. He takes the 1v1 with Mike, now he's going to take the 1v1 with Scout. Will go down eventually, but it's kind of an okay trade. It's a bit of a nothing trade. And now we see Beaver rotating in a sniper on this big door area.
They've been heavily relying on this Beaver sniper all game. I'm not sure if this is a strategy or something like that, or they just feel Beaver feels like he's really hitting his shots today, but I just don't see it majorly working out so far.
Well, it's still Perilous who are holding the advantage here. It's still 2-1. And this is, of course, map number 1. 10 minutes on the server left. And Crown's going to be feeling the pressure a little bit now, trying to basically pick up any players they can. But even on Sniper, peeking around the corner slowly but surely. But he gets, oh my goodness.
Tech didn't see him. He was crouching at the back, and Tech just didn't see him. And that's going to be an easy force. This is going to be a great opportunity for AMS. Wants to take it in for big door. Once he's fractured, he gets dropped by Kaya. Kaya pops now. They should be able to clean up this soldier up top. Maybe they've got one frag, but that drop gave them time for Perilous players to get away, and a wasted opportunity from AMS on Kaya there.
Yeah, it's just that issue as a medic where you just want to milk that Uber as much as possible, but you're paying attention so much to your own health that you're not looking at the health of your team as they're just dropping like flies around you. But they're trading flags so far.
Oh my God. See you later, kid. Koss is going to be dropping to that headshot, but Perilous, they want to strike back with vengeance, trying to create these frags if they potentially can. Ams jumping right into the air, hits off some lovely rockets onto Tech. Tech surviving on 17 HP. Can they bring him down? One chip shot will do it. Smear, the one to finish up the job in the end, and Crowns are looking pretty strong. They've got a hefty Uber advantage of about 70% that they can work off. And it looks like they're just going to be rolling straight through this midpoint. Perilous potentially want to contest this. I see Mikey in the drop-down area. He's currently behind him. They haven't even spotted him. Mikey
too late.
Gives away his positioning, and he's not going to get out anything.
Yeah, now he's going to be a little bit of a pass behind. Maybe no, they're not going to make a play off the fact that he's gone behind. He's still going to stay behind. Always keeping that factor of having this player behind, just kind of slow down things.
Maybe they're going to go straight away, I think. They just want to bully it out because they know Talos is on Sniper, so there's just a lot less spam, a lot less DM passes. They're chasing it so deep. AMS wants this demo frag. He's desperate for it, and he will get it. And now Crowns, they want to keep rolling this on to last. This is their chance to tie it up 2-2 right now. Tiger's trying to go behind them here, but they're contesting CP2. Really messy fight. Perilous have overcommitted terrifically. Koss surfs all the way away. He's on 80%. He needs to hold on. Koss needs to survive for this play, but he can't.
Absolute destruction. Mikey, the only survivor of that massacre, and Crowns, they've capped up second. They're rolling deep. Respawners are only just coming in heavy, being rammed by Falash Days, trying to basically force them out if possible, but they're actually going for that secret area. Ali's hits off one fat pipe. Can he do anything else? It's just on Kaya left, and he's against the entire might of Perilous. It's not going to work out whatsoever. Respawn's only just coming in for Crowns. Smear and Tiger Going to be basically trying to hold off the second point, but I don't even think they can do that.
Wow, this is really a game of like strategy and I guess brain power here, as that you just see players just like making very different and conscious decisions as Crowns try to go really greedy there, send all their players last to get that last point capped immediately, but knowing this, Perilous pushed them on to second and delayed that second point, but then that trapped them in that second point and they got
Tiger drops down, not going to be able to pick up cost. The positioning by that man, absolutely brilliant. And Kaiser actually going to be finishing up Balash there, taking a lot of spam. The Crowns guys are eating a lot of damage actually as well, and they're actually going to be able to pick up a frag onto Beaver as well. Smear's going to get the counter frag onto Ast, but
another drop down play incoming. AMS has gone behind, nobody's noticed him, he's got some damage onto Koff, he just wants to kind of hang about there. He does force the Uber, so now they're going to see if they can salvage what little Uber they have, maybe get on top of Kaya, but this is going to be difficult. Look at how he's positioned.
They need to protect on Kaya here. He's almost got the Uber. They're going to be getting these frags. A bit of an overextension there by Tech, and now it's 100% Uber on the side of Crowns. This is their time to shine. They're going to be starting to push through this choke area, not opting to pop it just yet. They want to try and milk it for everything it's worth. Big jump forward by Tiger, just saving him in the end. Uber finally going to get popped off. Mikey going to be falling as well, and this is so many frags going their way. The midpoint's going to be captured straight away, and they're really just driving straight into them. Look how deep Atomic is. He's eating a little bit of damage. Perilous trying to basically stop the bleeding, if you like, in that big door area, but my god, Crown's just gaining a little bit of momentum here.
Why did Donkai use that Uber on mid there? Was he just saving the one player?
Yeah.
I think it was to save Tiger. Like, Tiger's bomb was pretty nice. Yeah, it's
throwing away these Ubers. You know, he could have used that to almost guarantee the second point now, and look what's happened. It's just throwing them away. Maybe you just treat your Ubers with a lot more care. I think they're very precious in the game.
Well, once again, trying to basically get some information on either side. We do see Perilous basically slowly peeking it through the mid-fight, seeing if they can get any players whatsoever. They're going to try and get some cap time as well, but look at Smear, just pipes Falash with no difficulties whatsoever. Going to be bringing him straight down. Ams is jumping very far forward straight away, going to get a force out as well. That's exactly what they wanted, but he's still alive somehow. I do not understand this man, he's just running around with the skill stick out. And they are going to be able to recap this now. Crowns moving all the way in, trying to create some pressure, and they actually have managed to do it. And Kaya now has 100% Uber to work off. Shots after shots, Atomic and Beaven absolutely cleaning them up.
A big shout out to Atomic there, doing well by his medic and actually protecting them. I like this Crowns. They're protecting on Kaya. What is this?
There's some really sloppy play coming out from Perilous on the other side of it as well. Like a couple of times, like one time it worked, one time it didn't. Just random hiding places, catching them out.
This is it.
Uber's come in.
Uber's going to be popped in. They're going to be trying to move in, but they've actually already lost Smear. A demo man down. They did get the sentry, but is it all going to be for nothing as they've just dropped so many players now? Uber came in a little bit too early there, maybe. They've dropped 4 players now, as they are really just trying to roll deep. Ams does pick up a nice little 2k. In fact, finishing up Koss as well. So they're really the only saving grace there, picking up the medic, but ultimately not what they wanted out of that. They had 100% Uber and a lot of time to work off as well.
Yeah, they got really ahead of themselves. They rushed that. AMS salvaged it, but really should have got a lot more from it now. And now we're going to try and walk through choke. Mike's playing around from that high ground, but he's going to get a health pack before he does anything. They just want to keep Onkaya safe here as they're moving forward. Mike's thinking about it. He's got eyesight on the medic, but his team's not really in a position to support him. They're just going to go back to last, play it safe. 30% disadvantage, but it's not the worst. The sentry's going up, the heavy's out from Perilous, and they're ready. With 4 minutes remaining, they're just going to sit. They're going to hold this. They want this opening victory in this series.
Yeah, it looked like the sentry gun didn't do much last, but it did good enough in the fact that it discouraged the scouts from going straight onto that point and overwhelming alley.
Well,
and as they're pushing in now with this
straight away, yeah. Uber's going to be popped off. It's actually going to be Ast who's trying to deny them to the best of his ability on Pyro. They still haven't brought down their sentry. It's actually finally going to go down. They have traded a few players in the process. Mike also falling. This is looking pretty good for Crowns. They're dropping a lot of players. Here we go. They finally brought down Koss. Smear absolutely destroying on the point, and they take it finally, equalizing with 3 minutes 15 seconds left on the clock. Crowns are looking pretty strong now. This is a momentum swing, and it's very important for them.
Okay, this is good. Towards the tail end of this match, they're going to have that emotion on their side, and I'm feeling the Crowns rushing through the veins, boys. I think they can do this. Let's see what they can achieve on this mid-fight.
No, absolutely. It's going to be kicking off right away. Exchanging some spam. Tiger taking the high ground there, trying to basically force him out with a few rockets. Ams jumps forward as well. Look at this damage. They just need to follow it up. They've got so much out of it. He's put a lot of positioning for them. Can they spam them out? Perilous just taking beatings after beatings, but they're coming out on top because of it. Crowns, they're all dead. Spear, the only survivor in this engagement, and he's going to be going down as well. So not the greatest mid-fight by Crowns. If they can stabilize here, which is going to be tough because Koss does have 100% Uber advantage.
Yeah, there was just spread a little.
Oh my
okay,
god!
Well,
AMS.
nobody expects the AMS sniper, do they?
AMS the snake.
That's actually huge.
That's game changer.
That's huge.
Yeah, wow.
It's gone from having to turtle on last to suddenly you've still got a chance. 2 minutes left, you've just dropped for medic. You're going to start making your way to mid, and that's changed everything right now. Crowns want to move through big door. Both scouts bursting through. No heals on the Perilous side. Only just arriving right now.
Yeah, here we are. Sorry, moving straight away, straight in, picking up Mikey as well in the back lines. Beaven going to be finishing up that man there. And Perilous, they know they have to back all the way off. They do not have the Uber to hold this. Crowns definitely going to be feeling the momentum coming their way now as they're already rolling deep through that big door area. Going to be capping up second as well. Perilous looking to potentially recontest this from the Riverside area. They get Ams down to 18 health. He's just going to wait for that arrow. Is he going to be able to get it? No! They finish him up and they've actually picked up 2 as well. Ams and Tiger falling in the process. And Crowns now with 1 minute 25 seconds left. There's everything to play for here. They could potentially not make this go to the Golden Cap.
Those soldier frags were crucial right there. Without no soldier frags, they would have pushed last straight away before Koss had Uber still 30% away.
Exactly. So it does make you call into question why were they playing a bit too aggressive. They could have played that a lot safer. They were, Perilous were giving it to them practically, but they just wanted to see if they can just bite off a little bit more. But it was their game to lose. Anyway, as they have pushed them back to last, it is even Ubers, but it's literally below a minute now. So, well,
AMS from a force.
The Uber save from Onkaya as well. So they could potentially still rotate this around, but again, it's just
I don't
used
agree
an
with
Uber.
that at all.
I mean, if you kept pushing with it, if you just brought the entire team in, then that would have been really good. But they just weren't on the same wavelength.
They already got. I mean, the heavy and Sentry is going to be absolutely destroying them. Ands behind enemy lines. Actually, he's going to be able to pick up the Sentry. He's putting so much work there. A very high impact gamer there. Gets the arrow as well, so he's going to be putting in a lot more work as well. The back cap coming out by Beaven. Can they do this? This is all to play for. It's just Smear left. Tiger as well. They're doing this, surely. They've actually managed to pick up these frags. 19 seconds left. It's just Mikey. Fallas has just respawned. Mike, he's actually fragging so hard. How have they salvaged that? I do not believe it.
Oh my god, I can't believe they couldn't kill Mike. He was 30 HP. 30 HP stuck behind the point.
But they were just terrified. Nobody wanted to commit there.
Everyone was one-shottable. Everyone was on like 20 to 30 health.
But think about it this way. He's only got, he can only fire one shot at a time. If one just bum rushed him and then the other followed up, that's a dead Mikey. But nobody just didn't want to take the plunge there over on Crown.
It's hard because they're trying to avoid exactly what happened. They don't want, because they know Mike can just kill them.
It goes back to the fact that they don't think of the big picture as a team. It's just individuals playing their own game there, and they both just did not want to take any damage, so nobody really did anything.
This is fascinating. I really wasn't. I was expecting Perilous to take some time to get ready, like to get into it, to hit their full stride. But they're playing sloppy. Tech doesn't seem in sync with the rest of the team. Like, he seems ahead of him. Like, it's not necessarily Tech making the wrong decision. It's the fact that Perilous aren't making the same decision as Tech, or vice versa. And it's really costing them. Clumsy mistakes when checking doors and checking hiding spots have cost his life or his Uber. AMS getting the force at the end there. Like, Crown's throughness in those last 2 minutes. If Onkaya hadn't have chosen to save AMS, had kept that Uber for a push.
I think it could have worked if they just, again, they're all not on the same wavelength. When Onkaya went in to save, that's where everybody should be like, go, 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 move, 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 flood in. You know, use that Uber. But instead, they just saved him when that went back in, and they've just gone back to even Ubers. I just don't know if they're just not, communications maybe poor on Crowns right now.
I can feel the pain. Like there's some split-second decisions. There's like 3 of them Onkaya had where he made split-second decisions when pushing last, and every time he made the wrong one. Like it was literally like half a second, 50-50 decision, like the saving of AMS. When they went into sneaky when they were pushing last quite early on in the game, if they'd gone a different way, not into that tiny corner, they had a much better chance of that. And again, you can see the frustration on Kaya's face. He knows he's making the wrong decisions, but at the same time, they have someone making those split-second decisions.
But the decisions wouldn't feel so wrong if the team just did all the same wrong decision with him. if you catch my drift. Like I think a coordinated team doing the wrong decision is a lot more potent than 3 players doing the right things and 2 players doing the wrong thing.
Well, that was incredibly close. As you mentioned, CommanderX, I don't think you guys even predicted this. You thought that Crowns weren't really going to be in a position to take this. So, moving on from that, this is going to go to a golden cap. How do you feel Crowns need to... what's going on?
Okay, guys, we're just fixing a problem with the feed right now, so the game will go down. Don't worry, we'll be back up before the golden cap starts. We're just having both teams just having a bit of a rest, having a talk.
On the bright side, you get to listen to our luscious voices still. So we'll just paint you a lovely picture of what they could still do on this gully wash. And I think this does favour Crowns because they picked the map. They probably came into this maybe even with a few pocket strats of some sort. You know, ones that you could probably catch them out once or twice, but. And when you pull out these pocket strats, the only negative factor about them is they can't really happen twice. But in a golden cap, it just takes 1 point.
Yeah, there's so many situations in this as well where one team's come out and it was like a coin toss decision. This game's been so even, so random in a lot of ways.
It's been what's better as well. It's not just been like constant like messy fights, DM fest. It's been quite smart. There's been moments where. Like again, I'm going to go back to the fact that Crowns went to go last. So to counter this, Perilous went straight to their second to block the point and kill people on that point instead. But in that, they've ended up baiting Perilous into a fight that they can't run away from. So they fight him off there. But that fight is just delayed more time for the respawners, so they can't get that last point as well. It just goes to show how much thinking goes into these overall decisions.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned a little bit about. Crowns, specifically on Kaiser making mistakes pushing into last?
It's just, it's mainly like he wants to use these Ubers to like save people. It seems to be the trend this map so far is most of these Ubers coming out from Kaiser is saving. And I'm not against it. I think anything can work, but it's just maybe his team's not on the same length, or it's just very difficult. I mean, why do the difficult thing for you when you can just keep it simple, keep it basic, and just execute well? Because that's really what their team strikes me as, more of they execute well. Than,
What's the point? Sorry, the point I was trying to make was moving on from that. You were saying how Kaiser was misplaying, but what about Perilous? As a team, this isn't how most people were expecting him to perform on LAN.
I guess if I had to pick on somebody, it would be maybe Tech. But he's had like some shining moments. The times where he's like made really, poor mistakes. He's really pulled it out of the bag for his team as well. So he's either burning brightly or he's not burning at all.
Yeah, his DM's on point.
Yeah, but or you could, I guess you could look at the other players and just like go how mediocre things. Maybe another thing as well is Flash is not quite on fire on his sniper play. Usually when he comes onto sniper, he kind of takes over a game, or at least has a bit of an impact. But Crowns have really been minimizing him, and it's just forced him more into that scout role, that media. And it's just everybody's playing okay on Perilous, just not great.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going live into the golden cap right now. Take us to mid Bren.
Absolutely. Going to be rolling out now pretty swiftly. Smear opting for that choke rollout. Perilous going through that big door area. Going to be trying to exchange some spam here if they can. Ali eating some fat damage there in the process. He's going to have to back all the way off. Smear also trading. Here comes the bomb now. The aggression by Crowns as they're trying to make some magic happen. They've actually forced a few players from Perilous all the way out. And look at that. All 6 members trying to escape. 2 players actually being caught out here. Smear going to be the first one to pick up Falash. Make it 2. Bevan going to be finishing up Mike as well. And I think it was the right call by Perilous. They could see that mid-fight going pear-shaped.
Yeah, and with those 2 players going down so late, they're going to have to go straight back to last. It makes a steep on cost. How has this happened?
What?
How has this happened? The miscommunication.
Oh, God. That
unbelievable.
If there's any reason for a game to be over, that's going to be it.
This could be it. As long as they execute this push, they've got all the time in the world to set it up exactly how they want it. They have time for Atomic. They have time for AMS. Crowns are in a beautiful position right here. We've seen them beef it several times so far in this opening map. But this one's the important one. This one counts for everything. This will erase all the previous mistakes.
Perilous feeling the pressure now. 100% Uber on the side of Crowns. Koss has just respawned. Every player of Crowns is now up fully buffed, and they're looking to play this if they can. The Sentry Gun round the corner, the Heavy, the Pyro, everything's being ran by Perilous to try and stop this impeding onslaught that's about to come upon them. And here we go. Atomic going to be driving in head first. Can they bring down Ast? He's taking a lot of damage. Actually, getting arrowed up. Beautiful arrows by Koss.
He hasn't even
oh
died.
My goodness. Yeah, it's the arrows by Koss absolutely destroying them. 2 players down by Crowns now. This is not looking good for them whatsoever. They picked up a few more. Mike and Tech falling in the process. This is still doable for them. Ali and Koss is actually on the back lines. Falash trying to create some plays, and indeed he has 6 downs on the side of Crowns there. That was all Ast on Pyro. That was all Ast, and that was all Koss as well. The arrows coming out by that man, keeping him alive.
Yeah, no, they weren't expecting the arrow at all, and it just caught the scouts off guard, as unfortunately I think we've just lost the feed again. Apologies. All that's happened so far is Perilous have retaken CP2, and we're in a bit of a reset right now as both teams even it out, even on the time class.
We are back into this game as we do see Perilous. They're trying to push forward if they potentially can. Atomic going to be finishing up Ballast. How in God's name do you do that? And now Mikey under the moment, just trying to basically see if he can create any spam, any pressure. Big jump forward. He's going to manage to finish up Tiger there. And this is a mid that's going to be capped by Perilous.
Yeah, they were focusing on the flank there, and Tiger did go down, and AMS was trying to do AMS plays, but
Tiger can't get out.
Oh my goodness, that's huge. Tech's actually gone huge there.
Yeah, and what's worse is that they have all these players down, and well, they've spent a long time trying to actually get the cap point going though. So
this could be game. This generally could be game.
They are pushing though with the Uber, so at least oh wait, no, they decided to slow it down just a tiny bit, and they're going to push through an entire team instead. But yeah, if we got that cap going just a bit quicker, they probably could have sailed that into last ball. Let's see if it manages either way. They're actually rolling the vaccinated to just take what little advantages or perks they can get.
They've got so many frags now. They need to start clearing the point. Tiger jumps forward. He hits off one beautiful shot. Not going to be able to hit up the second one. They need to play the point. Indeed, they have. Atomic going to be trying to make something happen, but there we are. They take the golden cap, and Perilous going to be the winners of the first map. Gullywash going their way. This was Crown's pick, and it was a very, very close game. Very close.
Oh man, I don't know how I would feel if I was Crowns right now. You had it right in between your fingers, and you just squeezed on it just a little bit too hard, and it just slipped through. So
I feel so bad for them. Like they had not just in that golden cap itself, but in the other parts of the map as well. They had so many great opportunities, and they had like pixels away in every situation. Perilous very fortunate to come out with the opening victory in his first best of 3.
Yeah, and it's not been huge blunders as well, like the fact with Mikey staying alive so long and stuff like that. It's just these tiny, like you said, sliver.
They've done the hard part. They do the hard part, and they just make the I said it before.
What's worse is like they almost pull it off. They almost do it, but it's still never say never. They've still got 2 more maps in this.
Yeah, I mean that's much better than a lot of people expected from Crowns at this tournament.
Yeah,
they've come in as the underdogs.
Yeah,
and they've given them a run for their money.
It was good TF too. It was like they've shown, I think, improvement across the board, and it kind of gives a flavour of like how AMS is going to be for the rest of the LAN as well. He's been playing some good games.
Yeah, really good from AMS,
both
on mids.
Okay, we're going to be taking a quick 5 minutes break, I believe. Just a quick little timeout, 5 minutes. We will be back fairly shortly with some more TF2 action. The second map coming up, which is Reckoner. Given what we just saw from that first performance, that first map, it's going to be pretty exciting stuff.
See you soon, guys.
Welcome back. Sorry for all the technical difficulties. We have finally returned, and we are going to be going straight into map number 2. Reckoner is the game that's going to be played today, and or the map I should say. Perilous versus Crowns. We're already diving straight into the first mid fight, no messing around whatsoever. And here we are, Smear meeting head on. Going to be trying to basically get off some spam early on, trying to get a few of the Perilous players down low if they potentially can. Mike taking a bit of spam there, Tiger with the forward bomb. A lot of damage coming out to the Perilous boys already, double digits of HP on a lot of them. Tiger actually going to be the one to fall. Am's on 14 health, is he going to be able to escape with his life? Maybe not. Ali's going to be the one to finish him up in the end, and it's a very drawn out fight. Crown's looking worse for wear in the end. 3 down now, make it 4. Kaya needs to try and escape with his life here, but it's going to be incredibly difficult. Look at Ali, look how deep he is, jumping straight into him in that toxic area. If Kaya gets out of this, he's a bloody magician. I'm telling you now, he's trying to escape through the tunnels now, being chased down, but it's not going to be enough. Mike just runs him down straight away. And that is a very, very conclusive mid-fight straight off the bat by Perilous.
Yeah, he's even going to get that delayed respawn time. I don't think they're going to cap this point very quickly as well, so they might be pushing last by the time Kaya actually gets his Uber. But, oh no, she's slowing it down. I thought they'd be in a bit more rush. Maybe they just want to plan this a bit more methodically. But yeah, that mid was a bit underwhelming coming from both teams, really. They just both sat in like autopilot mode and just wait for somebody to make the first move. And over time, Perilous just won.
Here we are, they're going to be moving in with Uber, not going to be popping off just yet. That's actually going to be paying with Tech's life. Didn't manage to save him as the sticky trap has finished him up, but this cap point, it caps so quickly. They finally managed to pick up Ast. If they can get any more, it's going to be absolutely beautiful for them. Smear doing his damage, trying to put down the plays, trying to put down the damage. Valash cleans up one frag onto Atomic, picks up 2 as well on such low HP. Am's going to be the victim of that one before trading, and now Perilous, they're looking to try and contest this still, slowly but surely, trying to take the heels of Mike. It's a bit of a ulti-duo tournament that's kicking off on this last point as Tiger and Unkaya, they do manage to hold strong, and they are going to be able to defend this last point just in the nick of time. And now this is a slight Uber advantage that they've got to work off here, Crowns.
I'm still harping on this, but why did Koss not rush that last bit there? He had a bit of advantage. Some players were even down even. He could have gone before Unkaya got some buffs out to all his team, but he just wanted to take it slowly for some reason. Anyway, going into this second point, they've got a nice push off so far. They're getting cap time, which is pivotal on these.
Unkai's actually just been forced by rollers in the end, and he is going to be able to pop it off. And now Perilous, they've actually got Uber to work off. This is absolutely brilliant for them. I can't believe he got away with that, actually. That's actually ridiculous. And here we go, this is it. Tech's going to be jumping in straight away. Ali going to be finishing up Unkaya. Bevan just absolutely smacks down Tech in the end, but is it going to be enough? Uber popped out. They do manage to clean up that frag. Ali going absolutely huge in the end. Picks up 4. Perilous going to be able to cap this up. Koss is very weak on this point, however, and this may be the play that they needed. Oh, Tiger, if he just hit his shots a little bit more on point there, that could have turned it around a little bit, but they're just going to basically be happy to roll deep all the way in. Okay. Look at that, cherry on the top.
I think that's a nail in the coffin for this last hold. I was like, well, they've still got a demo man, and this is reckoning. You can rush stickies onto last and kind of delay things, and it's very easy for your team to follow up and block. Some quite similar in the same vein of Snake Water.
Yeah, well, it's going to be the second mid-fight that's going to be basically rolling out straight away. We do see Perilous, incredibly rapid takeover, basically taking it in no time at all for the first round. We still have 26 minutes left on the clock, just about almost, and here we are. We see them trying to exchange some spam once again. Ali getting off those early stickies, actually manages to connect one. Look at this bomb by Tiger, straight on the Koss. He's being caught out of position, but the positioning was not there by Tiger. He's created a lot of room to breathe, and what an air shot to Tech. Unbelievable mechanical skill coming out by these players, but it looks like Crowns are coming out worse for wear. They've already dropped 2 players. Perilous' position isn't too hot. They've already dropped 3. They need to try and bring down Koss to try and salvage this if they possibly can. I don't think they're going to be able to do it. Unkaya is going to back out, however, but there's members of Perilous hot on their tails now. Mike, he wants to search for this frag. He's got them in their sights basically, but it's not going to be enough. Perilous are going to be able to cap this second point successfully. Again,
it looks like Crowns are just not on the same wavelength. You see somebody, Tiger, doing a massive, huge bomb in, so like really committing for this, laying out groundworks for some good damage or good follow-up, but Crowns just decided to sit back and play it slow, and you know, we saw how that went last time. We think they would adapt to this slightly, but you know, nonetheless, they've still got plenty of time left in this game, and they're going to carry on go.
Mike just failed at every jump. Yeah, like he tried like 5 jumps to skip jumper before, so he failed jumping in, failed jumping out, and now Crown's going to take the aggressive push at the back of that. AMS leading it out, dueling Tech on this high ground. Koss is milking for days. It's going to be much better for Perilous. Perilous need to make sure they can get players out here, but they've lost 2 already. Dangerous position right now for Crowns.
Crowns need to be really careful here. Perilous already with 3 frags, and look at the respawn timers on this. Atomic's on a 16-second respawn timer. Perilous can just roll deep now and take what they want. Basically, at the end of the day, they want to try and get this map. And look at Smear! The damage by this man picks up a 2K. Koss finally the one to bring him down. Absolutely salvaging this for his team. They pick up the frags time and time again. Perilous just flopping it, basically. They completely failed that, and Smear was the catalyst for it. Absolutely destroying them.
Yeah, Crowns chasing hard as well. Koss is going to have to go out. The soldiers going deep for him. Put Koss in a corner. Surely he'll go down, but respawns upcoming. Koss gets for health pack. Tiger goes down. They're going to hold on to it, and great work for respawns. And Ass is just going absolutely ham.
He wants more. He wants more. He's chasing them down. Look how weak he is. 20 HP on the man. He's still trying to basically hunt down these frags. He's got the heals as well, so they're pushing deep into it. They've already got 3 frags as well. Respawn is just about to come up on Tiger, so this is not a great situation for them. Valash still on Sniper as well, trying to hunt for these picks, but it looks like Perilous, they're trying to basically peek this, and they're going to look to slowly push in with the Uber. They pop it off, but at the same time, Unkaya has actually achieved his as well, and this is really could go either way. It's really how Perilous are going to start to play this. They're trying to take the initiative here by backing out. Ass did pay with his life in the end, and they might try and retake this fight into the lobby area where the positioning is better.
They're just going to reset things, play things very slowly. You do have that sniper up, so that's aim for the next push. They're just going to use him, see if we can get that early push on play. Oh god, AMS just got the laser.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, now you see him, now you don't. AMS is going to be out of the fight for now. This gives just maybe a lot more breathing room to Flash now, because he can probably hang around those choke points, knowing that no soldier's really going to dedicate himself to pushing him out of that choke point. And they're doing a good job of keeping that general protection around him anyway. But he just can't seem to find a shot for now, Flash.
Yeah, they keep messing up these pushes, and Crowns are sort of utilising the defensive advantage of Wrecker there to be.
Never man down. That is a quality pick. That is short of a medic pick. It's great to get that Demoman pick off for the last point push.
Oh, make it 2.
Bonus
My
scout.
goodness.
Falash
just absolutely destroying, and here comes the push now. Uber going to be popped off by the side of Perilous. A much better Uber. It's actually, Ali hits a lovely pipe onto Ams, and he ends up getting dropped by Ankaya. Didn't pop his Uber off in time. Still a much better Uber by the side of them, but at the same time, look at this. Mike has managed to wiggle his way into the back lines, picks up 1 frag to even make it 2 as he finishes up Atomic, and this is so much room he's just made for them now. Tiger, Ams, Ankaya, the only pretty much survivors. Ankaya trying to get those swords off. Ali going to be paying of his life in the end. Ams is on no health whatsoever, going to get pistol down. It's just Bevan. It's going to be the cap, and Perilous take another round on their belts. 2-0 in the end, and this is very, very quick. Only 7.5 minutes into this game.
And that was almost stylishly slow. They had the sniper, and they knew that they couldn't really just commit all their players in after a huge pick like that. So instead, they just stuck to their guns and played it extremely slow, and just used that high ground on that last push, and to a great degree. And from there, it was just one pick after the other.
This is it now. Smear, he's trying to get off that damage early on if he potentially can, trading a few blows with the enemy Denoman. And here comes the aggression now by Crowns. They're moving all the way around, but big wraparound by Perilous is also coming out there. They're playing very, very loosely actually on this mid-fight. Tiger hits a lovely little rocket onto Ali, and he's going to get finished up by Smear now. So that's 1 frag for them. No Denoman can be absolutely critical in winning this, and they've actually managed to find Ass as well. Tiger tried to make some plays happen. In fact, he did. He just picked up Kos. Ridiculous stuff in the end. The counter frag comes out as Falash manages to bring down Atomic, but Ankaya, he's going to be happy with that. He has his Uber. Perilous are looking to replay this now. Mike trying to make some plays. He's jumped all the way in. He's dodging and juking these serves by that man in midair, but he's going to be paying him his life, and he didn't get anything from it. Now here comes Tech, trying to basically, if they can pick up Ankaya, this is exactly what he wanted, but he's basically surrounded by his entire team. It's not happening in any world whatsoever, so he is going to back all the way off, and that's a really, really good mid-fight by Crowns.
Okay, they probably can get the second point for free as well, but they're still trying to somewhat hold on to it. But the second point is so difficult to hold on to, because you just cut off your tiny little avenues of escape, and Ali does get a kill on Bevan, who was soul searching there for that frag. But yeah, second point, they've got the 100% Uber advantage. This should be a clear-cut push coming out from Kaiser and co.
Well, here we are. Uber popped out now. Crowns looking to try and create some momentum, potentially, if they can. Bevan has just got respawns, and now they just need to play these frags. Even if they play the point, it caps so quickly, it can be worthwhile, but Perilous' positioning is absolutely superb. They finished up Atomic. Here comes Ams on the back lines. Can he get Kos? What is this movement by this man? How does he escape in that situation? And here comes the Uber. Crowns being absolutely punished for not picking up that frag in the end. An incredible trust that Kos is placing his team there as well to keep him safe. My God.
They went for Kos way too late in that fight as well. Like, it was pretty close to when the push began. They leave it way too late. They can't find the shot right at the end, and they get punished really hard for that. A great opportunity for Crown thrown away. And now Perilous is going to roll 2 points off the back of that, and Crown's going to have to set up on CP2 with a slight Uber disadvantage as well.
I think you need to realise when you're going into that last push, if a medic doesn't want to die on that last push, he's not going to die. He's just always going to rotate around that spawn, so you need to go for a different target. And most teams will just go for the point and just start pressuring them out on that way, kind of at least bring them out of their kiting maneuver and get them into a vulnerable state on that point. But they just chose not to do that last push.
Crown's being aggressive here. They need to be careful because Perilous are really close to Uber, and they realise that now after dropping Tiger, but Onkai's positioning isn't the best. He needs to get further back before this push comes
so
in.
Close. This is actually going to be critical if they play this incorrectly, and look at that collapse. Onkaya just getting absolutely demolished. 4 down on Crowns. Is it going to be 5 as Bevan is just jumping over the men's heads? He's going to finally get brought down by Ast. So it's a 1 frag for them, make it another one as well, as Atomic is going to fall in the process. And this is Perilous, really at their finest. They've already capped up this second point. If they wanted to wait here, they could just basically build up Uber, but they're not going to do it. They've got such a massive player advantage, rolling straight away, and that's going to be another round under the belt straight away. 3-0 is the scoreline.
See why Perilous have picked this map. They've just they've understood it perfectly, and they've really striked on the weakness of Crowns as well. They saw the opportunity and thought that they weren't going to pick Reckoner and just let that ban slip. And it just goes to show that if you do your homework and have that one map advantage of the newest map, these map picks can be incredibly punishing towards your team.
Yeah, well, here we are. This is it now. Trying to basically, once again, create some picks and create this opportunity to push and crack open this mid if they can. Ams is eating a lot of damage. Tiger trying to help him out at the same time. Perilous really got the better positioning right now. Mike has taken so much spam. 2-3 HP on him. He is going to get brought down in the end. Atomic finding that frag, and there we go. Here's the counter frags as well, as Ams has fallen eventually. But this mid fight can really go any way whatsoever. Falash has been basically picked up that, and it's actually a crit streak that's been popped out by Crowns. They've actually not managed to get anything off it, but they've zoned them out and managed to pick up 2 frags, so this is still playable for them if they can. Bevan finally finishes up Ali as well. It's actually Tiger going to be falling, and this is really, really sloppy by both these teams.
Yeah, mistake from Tiger jumping at the end there. He just kind of threw away his team's player advantage, meaning they couldn't apply any to pressure to cost. Like now, middle point's so open and wide, scouts can destroy soldiers if you don't go with your team. And that's exactly what happened, and that's going to force Crowns into a difficult position with a massive Uber disadvantage, and Kaya survives, so he's still on crits.
Yeah, well, this is Uber on the side of Perilous, and they're looking to play this very deep. Mike trying to take in that tunnel area, and Crowns know they are in a very, very sticky situation. They're backing all the way out to that lobby area, as the second point is already capped, and now they have the Uber. Let's see what they can make do with it.
And they're just, again, going from that high ground position and just going to push it from there. They're going to sacrifice his heavy to delay some time, but I think it's a bit of a throw away of his life there. I think they could have been...
Oh, my goodness me! Can he pick up any more? He's actually managed to finish up tech with that crit sticky. Ali's in a very, very dangerous situation. He gets beaten down in the head by Tiger. And that was incredibly well played by Crowns right then. They just kited them for days. They knew they had the crits coming up. They waited for the Uber to fade, and they completely capitalized off that.
Yeah, that was a bit of a brain fart coming out from Perilous there. It's like, oh boy, we love this high ground so much. They all bunched around it and went, oh yeah, the crits, and they just did a delta split. All of them went by, and it pulled them apart. It just coordinated way too much. It could have been a lot worse. That sticky potentially could have wiped them all.
Yeah.
Perilous should have had that as well. Like, I think they used the crits too soon. Like, they didn't get a full read on the exact position of Perilous, but Crowns just keep the momentum rolling forward, and now all of a sudden they've got mid, they've got cost.
Oh my goodness.
And they've just bullied back Perilous here, and now Perilous, we see Mike hiding, we see Talash on Cypher, they're going for this force on Kaya. Everything's on whether on Kaya survives in this push into CP2 or not right now.
Tiger's been having a good game so far with these bombs. Is that like the third bomb onto cost that he managed to get the pick on as well?
Oh, Falash! What an absolute gamer. Picking up that frag onto Kaya. He didn't have the Uber. I think he was just still building it, but he was so close to it, and that's going to be absolutely critical in turning the tide of the battle. As you can see, Crowns already only 2 men surviving. Tiger and Atomic trying to back out with their lives if they possibly can, but Perilous, just pulling out these plays time and time again, just swing it around.
Yeah, it's quite cool really, this door, because you just get a very clear sight line onto being able to force a medic that wants to hold on to his Uber charge, and from there it just creates possibilities of drops and just unnecessary, well maybe not unnecessary, but just like unpredicted deaths.
It's a shame no one went with Tiger on that bomb. Like, Tiger got good rocket on cost. If he scout, I think it was Atomic, stayed with him, then maybe he could have finished that pick off, but instead we're just going to lose for one soldier and choose to hold passively on CP2. Talash still on Sniper, going to try and find the opening. Everything's in Perilous' hands right now. They have complete control of the situation.
Yeah, and with this Sniper, they can really decide to just take the slow route of things, really put the squeeze on that Crowns lineup to be the one to go aggressive with the action, but it seems with last, they can almost park the bus here maybe, but I think there's quite a fair amount of time, yeah, like about 14 minutes left on the timer, but who knows what's more crushing of the spirit than parking of the bus at 14 minutes.
Exactly right. I mean, Perilous, they shouldn't feel any pressure whatsoever to make some plays happen here. Falash is peeking this lobby area. He's going to see if he can potentially pick up a player. There are a few just around the corner, creeping round, and he's actually managed to finish up Arms. Beautiful little pick by them. And is this really playable for them right now?
Flash just feels like the boogeyman right now. They can't seem to find him where he's coming from. He just seems to just decide to kill a random person on the map at any given point. Oh, Bevan actually found him there. And the fact that you have a sniper up as well, it creates this pressure for Flash. And oh, well, he did have that pressure for a short amount of time until Flash took that option away from him. Now he's got free reign again and he can start peeking around a lot more.
Look how open this one side of the map is, and here we go. Tiger going to be jumping straight in, trying to basically force him out. Uber popped out. Perilous with a slightly better charge on their side. Can they get any frags though? That is the question. Bevan has just about respawned. Perilous still holding this one side of the map. They might choose to potentially replay this if Falash can pick up one frag, and one frag is all they need.
No,
Ali's actually been completely caught out of position, and they're going to be punished for it once again. Now Perilous, they're in a very, very, very tight situation here. They cannot afford to make any more mistakes. They've already dropped Ast as well, and Crowns.
I don't know what Ali was doing there. Maybe he wasn't listening to his team or whatever, but everyone decided to get out. He was the only one that just stayed in, like, feeling confident, like he had a huge army behind him, but he did not. And now they're...
Oh my God, Falash! How does he hit these shots time and time again? Honestly, this man is incredible at LAN. I do not understand it whatsoever. He's constantly picking up on Kaya, constantly salvaging what looks to be a failed situation for his team. We see Tiger, he did get a lot of damage off into them in that lobby area, but he's been punished for it again. Bevan is the only survivor. Respawn is only just coming up now. Is it going to be too late? I think it is, as they have just capitalized that to perfection. 4-0 is the scoreline currently to Perilous, and they're taking it by storm.
CX, how would you make this comeback? I just don't know. I'm trying to bubble all these ideas in my head, and I can't think of a way that that they can come back from 4-0.
It's a lack of commitment on mid. Like, they sort of force Perilous into a corner, they force him on the back foot, but Perilous just play the sort of terrain, use that big open map, and just absorb the aggression from Crowns. The Crowns just need to commit harder on top of them, and they need to do something about Talas, because right now Talas has complete free reign to control this game, and that's what he's doing.
I'd like to see more double soldier bombs coming out from the soldier pair AMS and Tiger, but it seems they just don't want to follow that avenue. They're kind of thinking about it. Look, so they just want to hold things in their arms.
Oh, Falash! Falash, he's actually got behind enemy lines! How did they let that happen? He's managed to pick up on Kaya in the midst of all that chaos. Unbelievable stuff. Perilous now. Costa's managed to get out alive. They're re-pushing through this toxic area now. They have the Uber to work off as well, and they've got the frags as well. 2 down, make it 4 now, as an absolute collapse happens by Mike and Ali.
Tiger, he is behind.
Tiger is behind.
But the soldiers have kept well in check on where he is. And,
Do they know?
I think they do know, yeah.
No.
They've spotted him behind. But yeah, this is what happens when you commit all these players onto just doing one objective. Sure, it looks really good and you do pull it off, but the fact that... Wow.
Wow.
Taxi for Mike.
That was so good that it made me forget my point there. But
It's unfortunately broken the stream as well.
yeah.
Just like I see.
But I think I was just talking about the fact that, you know, they put all 5 of their damaging classes into pushing the enemy team out, but Falash knew this. He'd gone for the massive wraparound play. Nobody saw him, and he managed to actually pick out on Kai there. And this is why you usually have somebody watching that flank area on these midpoints.
Well, this is Perilous they had an Uber advantage. It looks like they're about to have it slip out of their grasp now, as Ankaya is on 90% Uber, just really waiting. And this is a potential, you know, Crowns could punish them for this if Perilous decides to overcommit too much. We've got a nice little sticky trap on the stairs there. But it looks like they're just opting to just hold fast, which is the safest thing to do. You've already got such an incredible round lead. There's no reason to make mistakes, but they're already pushing in, actually. They want to take the fight straight to them. They managed to pick up 2. Smear and Bevan falling in the end. Finally, Uber going to get getting popped off here, but it's not going to look good whatsoever. Ams falls. The Uber was popped out by Perilous, but look at these players. 3 of them down on Crowns. Respawn's coming up in about 5 seconds. If Perilous are quick on the ball here, they can make some magic happen. Atomic might actually die here as well. Indeed he has, trying to escape. And it's not going to be enough. Look at Mike as well. He's just taking a fight straight to them in their spawn. Trades the frag in the end. 2 down on the side of Crowns, and Perilous looking to storm this straight away, all the way in, trying to get the damage. Indeed, they've got it. Ast finishes up Smear. Can they get it? They're looking for the Mercy Rule. 3 down now on Crowns. Perilous are looking so strong. They've got so much pressure on them. It's just Bevan left alive. Respawn is not coming up for so long now. It's just Tiger. Can Atomic delay? And it's not going to happen. Perilous take it. They take the second map. 5-0 in the end, and that is going to be the game. That's going to be the game. Perilous take it in 2 maps.
Yeah, a complete outclassing there on Reckoner. Like, early on, it looked competitive. it looked like the mids could have gone Crown's ways. It looked like they were just a few decisions away from taking the fight to them and getting the frags. And then as soon as they did win that one mid fight, finally, when they were 2-0 down, they take it all the way to last, completely mess up the push. And from there, it was just over. It seemed like the spirit had been sucked out of Crowns. And they couldn't get a grasp of mid. They just couldn't get a grip back on mid, which makes it so hard to get back onto the map on Reckoner.
Yeah, they were outplayed. Not only were they outplayed, but I think they were outstrategied as well. You can clearly see that from all the poor positioning coming from Crowns, they just did not do their homework when it came to Reckoner. And if you think you're going to be doing that poly on the map, it's just a moral to all the teams out there that you need to really think about your picks and bans here. Bluffing teams that they might think they haven't practiced Reckoner at all as well. It's kind of a risky bluff, especially when it could be just over just from the draft of maps alone.
Yeah, I said at the start, like they needed to win it in these first 2 maps, and after not just losing that first map, but the fashion that they lost that first map in.
Yeah, but that was a quality pick by them though. That Reckoner pick, it really did just pull them at the seams there, and it was I'm just astounded how well it worked, and I'm surprised they didn't go over Reckoner a bit more.
It seems like Crowns had no plan B.
Yeah. They were it was just greedy bans. It was just like, there's no way they played a Reckoner. This is Perilous. They've got Tech on Murky, and they've got Mike, who's like a dinosaur at this point. He's probably not played that new map. So they just ban out these other things, being a little bit greedy, and then they just pull out the Reckoner pick.
Yeah, I mean, they beat him earlier on the week, but it's always a bit of a wild card picking an unknown map. But it's proven the perfect decision here, and they've absolutely crushed them.
Yeah.
And that's going to move them into the winners bracket to play Nameless.
Absolutely, yeah. So we are going to see, we do have one more game for today. I believe it's going to be Perilous versus Nameless. The winners bracket is going to be a hell of a game. Some might say a sneak peek at the grand finals itself. It's definitely going to be worth sticking around and watching for. But yeah, from that defeat, I mean, Crowns were looking, it was really quite heartbreaking for the first map. If we go back to that, speak a little bit about the Gully Wash game. They had opportunity after opportunity to potentially take it, and we could be seeing a completely different outcome here if they had just had that one map buffer and seen it gone to Granary. I know you guys weren't too keen on Granary as Crown's map, but they've definitely shown a new side of Crowns that I didn't think we were personally going to see. They definitely impressed me.
I think after seeing that Reckoner game, I would have been a lot more confident in their Granary play. I didn't think it was... I know Granary is going to be a hard map, and it seems like very comfortable, but it just goes to show that at least they would have an inkling of what they're doing on Granary, basically.
Yeah, they'll have a plan B. They'll have a second strategy to come out with, and
Granary,
even though Mike and Tech are good,
at least you can just go back to basics and just go on all the experience of Granary they played in the past and just...
Yeah, and Mike and Tech are good, but AMS and Tiger win their shots as well.
They've been having good games. Even Tiger slightly shining through on this last map here, but it's teams that win Team Fortress 2, not solo players.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of unfortunate for Crowns for winning that first map. It kind of killed it then and there. Perilous sort of got a get out of jail free card. Yeah. Suddenly, and also say theoretically Crowns did win that first map, then suddenly they've got Reckoner's a free map, right? They have got a third map. They've got 2 chances at winning this series, but then all of a sudden it's everything on this last map for them, and it's just a much tougher situation. On a map we don't have a lot of as many ideas, as much experience. It's just an uphill battle, and Perilous gave him no room to breathe. Talas just picks him apart right at the end there.
But, it's not over yet. They've still got one more day. They're going to come back again tomorrow. They're going to be playing, I believe, Comfortably Spanked in the lower bracket final? Lower bracket final? Or is it?
Round 1.
Round 1.
Round 1.
You normally play round 1 before the final.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, I thought this was the round 1 stages of the things, and then you get knocked down, and the fact that it's because it's a full... anyway. Yeah, they're going to be playing again tomorrow, basically. So they have time to just review back. That's the great thing about LAN as well. You can because all your teams in there, you can just it makes reviewing so much easier, and just you're huddled around in your hotel rooms, in your apartments after, just going over the stuff. And there's some players that have learned more things over a weekend of LAN than they have in their entire TF2 practicing and career.
Yeah, the setup of this LAN as well, because there's only 4 teams, we only play 1 match at a time, which means you always get to watch your opponents, compared to, say, I-Series of LANs with much more teams, where games will happen simultaneously, and you don't always get to see. There's a lot going on. It's hard to watch all the action. It's hard to watch the teams you want to watch to try and get a read on them. Whereas now, you can just sit down and watch the entire other team. You get to watch their vetoes as well.
Yeah.
You can get a lot more information, and it just makes it more competitive and more intense.
I've been loving the map like presence. Like before in DreamHack Winter, it didn't feel like it counted things too much. It was just kind of people didn't thought about it too hard. But it's great to see like not just this match we watched, but I think in the previous games as well. Like they've really been doing their homework and like putting serious thought into these map choices from all the teams here at this DreamHack Summer.
Yeah, no, it certainly adds a new dimension to it, and it can work out. You know, it's an important decision. It sets up the series for you.
I'm just saying it makes it feel like adds just a bit more strategy to TF2, which some could say like it could need, because sometimes you have old Russians just come by in a tournament and then just sweep everybody because they're just relics of the past and they're outplaying everybody.
All right then, guys. So it looks like we're going to go to a commercial break right now before we go to that winner's bracket game. So now it'll be Nameless against Perilous. Now it'll be coming up after this. I believe it's about half an hour. We'll start a timer in the bottom corner so you know exactly when we'll be back. But that's all from us for now. So see you guys soon for our upper bracket final.